First off, I want to make it clear that this video is sponsored by JLCPCB, and for a very good reason. I've been designing my open source testing tools using JLC's EasyEDA software for years now, and I've been getting them to make my PCBs for years too, so they come highly recommended from me. In this video though, I want to walk you through how you would go about designing and getting your very own custom boards made, and well, it's easier than you might think thanks to JLC, so let's dive in. First off, the circuit design. Now this is the part that I can't help you with. You will need to know what you want your thing to do and how to wire it up to do it. My biggest piece of advice though is to read the data sheets. Some of them are heinously long. The sheet for the SAMD51 that I use in the response time tools is over 2,000 pages long, and I have had to read it a few times now, but you'll pretty quickly work out where to look for schematics to follow from, and of course, the internet is your friend here. Assuming you know what you're after then, the process of designing your circuit and PCB is remarkably easy. Open a project in EasyEDA and start by finding the parts that you'll need with the handy library feature. This searches JLCPCB's parts catalog, as well as LCSC's and JLC's massive user-contributed parts library. In my case, I want the part for the ESP32 board that I'm using, a Feather S3 from Unexpected Maker and sort of Adafruit. I'll be adding this in with headers, so I don't need JLC to be able to source it, but it would be useful to connect to, say, the right pins. So I just search for Feather S3 in the library and pick one of the user-contributed versions and place it. Now for a part I do want JLC to source, a MOSFET. Specifically an IRF 8010, as that meets my power, voltage and current requirements for this project. So I just need to search for that, and in my case, I'm opting for the PBF variant, as JLC has stock. It's included as part of their SMT assembly service, as you can see from the SMT icon there. Now, I actually need 5 of these, so I'm just gonna place 5 of them in roughly where I think they'll be needed. And then I need some inductors. This is where the LCSC tab is really useful. I know that I want a 4.7 microhenry inductor that can either support 24 amps of current, which is pretty rare, or one that can support 6 amps that I can just place 4 times. So I just select inductors, specifically power inductors, from the box on the left, then 4.7 microhenry from the inductance list, and 6 amps from the rated current list, and pick the top one basically, or whichever one I fancy. I can place one and then just duplicate that for a total of 8, 4 per side for the Peltier modules that these will be driving. You want to repeat that sort of process for each component that you'll need, although a little tip. If you want JLC to build your boards for you, take a look at their basic parts catalog and pick from there when you can. You'll thank me later. As for actually wiring it all up, well, that's pretty simple. Grab a wire from the toolbox or press W and just click to start, click to add corners and click where you want it to end. You'll need power and ground, so use the VCC or relevant voltage flags and plug the ground flag wherever necessary. And for separated systems like this Peltier driver circuit, this doesn't need to have wires going all the way from the microcontroller to each of these MOSFETs. Just use a net flag for that. Put the same net flag on each end, although in my case I need a sort of voltage booster for that, but either way, you just add the net flags and that's them connected. It keeps your circuit diagrams nice and easy and, well, frankly easier to read too. Once everything is wired up, you can then use the check nets feature to catch any issues. Then press the PCB button on the top bar. Set your size. I like to start from 0 and then however tall, so in my case I'm going to make this board 100 by 100 millimeters. Then start placing your components. Now this might take a few tries for you to get everything to fit where you want it, especially once you start to wire stuff in, but you'll get there. With practice, it gets easier to have a bit of intuition for it. Wiring it up is pretty easy too. Again, just grab a wire and run a trace between parts. If you need to go through to the other side or add layers in between, like a 4 or 6 layer board, use a via. I personally like using a copper area option on the backside of the board, in fact the whole bottom of the board, as a ground connection. This works really well as both a solid ground point and provides a bit of protection too. If you do end up making changes to that side of the board after adding that ground plane, just right click anywhere where you're not selecting anything, go to the copper area and then hit rebuild all. You can also add silk screening to the board, both top and bottom. So in my case, I'm gonna label each of the in-use microcontroller pins so that if anyone wants to use this board with a different microcontroller, you'll know which pin does what. I'll also add the open source bed cooler text to the bottom because why not? While I'm here, I'm also going to add some mounting holes. If you pick the hole option, JLC will just drill a hole to that size. Whereas if you pick the pad option and then change it to a multi-layer pad or hole, this becomes a grounded hole where you can add the ground, net instead, which I generally prefer. Now, once you're happy with the design, you want to check the design tab to see if you have any DRC errors. This has saved me so many times. If you've accidentally connected something to somewhere that it shouldn't be, this will let you know. You can also check the nets to make sure that everything that should be connected is, and assuming that you don't have any errors or that any errors are perfectly fine, you're aware of them, you understand, you want to export the Gerber file for the PCB. You'll also, if you want JLC to solder the components on, export the BOM, the bill of materials, and the pick and place file too. Actually, ordering the boards is really simple as well. For just PCBs, upload the Gerber zip file to JLC site, pick your options including the PCB color, via options, and a lot more, and then submit the order. If you want JLC to solder your components, check the SMT service box, upload the BOM and CPL files, confirm the parts placement, confirm pricing, and then add it to your basket. If you need to order parts JLC doesn't have stock of, you can either use their own parts sourcing service, which is almost always faster and cheaper, or you can use their global parts sourcing service, where you order your parts from someone like Mouser, RS, DigiKey, and more, and they get shipped straight to JLC directly. And then the boards get made, often in just 24 hours. And then if you've opted for it, they get assembled in just 2 to 3 days. And then they ship them worldwide remarkably quickly. It isn't uncommon for me to order boards midweek and receive them in under a week. That's just really impressive. The boards themselves are always great quality. I mean, just look at this thing. It's clean, the solder joints are all solid, parts are placed perfectly, and all that in a week, and frankly, exceptional value too. Now I hope you can see why I've been using them for literally years at this point. Of course, if you want to give this whole custom PCB thing a go, I will leave a link to JLC site in the description, along with a link to their EasyEDA software too. And let me know what you make in the comments down below. Actually, what's even better is that as of this video going live, JLC is running a promo for Engineers Day, running from September 5th to October 5th, where you can get up to $125 of coupons, plus if you order in bulk, you can win a $150 Amazon gift card, so there's even more reason to get stuck in and get your projects made. And again, that's all linked in the description for you. Of course, with that said, that's kind of it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Feel free to let me know what you end up making, or even just if you have a play around what you think of the software in the comments as well. If you want to see more videos like this one, you can hit the subscribe button, including more videos about my custom PCB projects, which I'll leave in the end cards too. Of course, thank you to JLC for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one.